back everybody to another silent film review, and you may have noticed that there's been a couple of day gaps between the video uploads, and that's because I've been quite busy at the moment, moving into a new home for university. But on a side note, this week there'll be a video every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. There'll be a video every single day, and there's going to be another one on Saturday. And we can't forget about the Google Hangout, which is going to be hosted on Friday night at about 8 PM. The date is waiting to be announced, the time I will let everyone know what time that'll be at. But yes, there will be a video every single day starting from now. Along this marathon I thought to myself I might as well watch some more Buster Keaton. And one of the films I watched was a rewatch. In total I watched 3. I watched Sherlock Jr. rewatch, The Scarecrow, one of his 2 reader shorts, and 7 Chances, which is completely new to me. Also, I hadn't seen Sherlock Jr. in 3 years, and what a great film it actually is. The plot is basically about this young man played by Keaton, who is a movie protagonist, but he also dreams of being a detective. After being framed for stealing a watch of another man for stealing his girlfriend, he puts his skills to the test, and later we see this fantastic dream sequence where he falls asleep during the projection of a film, and we see his ghost coming out of his body, and he enters the film screen. And when he enters the film screen, he becomes Sherlock Jr., the most famous detective in the world. The effects are absolutely fantastic for the time, and it's a true innovation. There's facts on IMDb on how they did this effect of the movie screen. It was a very complicated process that I couldn't even start to tell you about now. But yeah, the cross-fading and effects there, it's just really great. And it also really captures that magic of cinema and how, we want to become in the film. We know film is escapism, wanting to be taken on a different journey or adventure, be absorbed into other stories. And I think Keaton has captured it quite well. And this is only 1924, so you can see how even then cinema was seen as this great idea machine. So yeah, in that respect, he really captures wanting to be in the film world. Keaton's physical stunts here are some of the best he's ever done in any of his films, and it's really impressive, and they really have you tense. And I mean, you have to give him credit. Most of his stunts, as far as I know, all his stunts are done by him, performed by himself. And I mean, he must get wrecked after doing all the shooting, because the stuff that we're seeing him doing is absolutely amazing. There's one famous scene when he's hanging from the tube of the water basin at a railway, and he actually did this. When you see it happening, that water is coming down quite quick, and he had actually fractured his neck to the point of breaking it. And for years and years, Keaton was having blinding migraines, and he didn't know why. And it turns out this was the reason, and he didn't find that out until the 30s when a doctor diagnosed him. So that's impressive that he didn't even realise how much he hurt himself, because even in the shot we see him getting up and running off. And I mean, that's just dedication to being a comic. Another great scene that I liked was the pool scene, and I was thinking to myself, how the hell is he doing this? Is this faked, or is he actually playing pool? And I went and looked up on IMDb. He did actually perform all of those trick shots for real, which is quite impressive. What he did was train for 4 months at pool to perform all the trick shots, and that really shows dedication. There's other really fun facts about the production of the film, and this is only a 45-minute movie, and the amount of effort and time that Keaton put into it really shows true dedication. And it all pays off, because even when you watch it, you realise a lot of work has went into this, especially scenes like the dream sequence and the scenes towards the end whenever there's fast chasing on the bike. Those scenes were also really fantastically shot too. Like many of Buster Keaton's comedies, I think they seem to get better and better as they go along. I had that experience with 7 Chances, and it's the same with Sherlock Jr. We have some great gags as we go along, but truly the final 15-20 minutes, final half an hour of his films are just explosive with imagination, and they're just thrilling. The second film that I watched was a little short called The Scarecrow. This little 2-reeler is basically about 2 farmhands, 2 young men working on the farm, who compete for this young woman's hand in marriage. That's a simple setup, and it works quite well. At the start of the film, we see the 2 men in this house that is absolutely efficient. I've never seen a more efficient house. They must save so much time. I mean, they've got like salt shakers coming down from the ceiling, the table and the chairs being foldable. They put it up in the wall, the way they wash the dishes with the power hose and everything. all of that. I mean, it's something you have to see to understand what I'm even talking about. Yeah, there's plenty of good gags in it. One of my favourite being when Keaton pretends to be a Scarecrow, which is where the name of the film probably came from. But yes, he pretends to be a Scarecrow when he's being chased. But yeah, it's a very funny sequence. You have to see it to really find it funny. Definitely check it out on YouTube. It's on YouTube. So yes, the Scarecrow was a really good short. I've saved best for last, and that is 7 Chances. I mean, this comedy is just great, and it got better and better as it went on. And whenever we enter the final half an hour, that's when you realise how great this film is. The story is about the character James Shannon, played by Keaton, who discovers that if he marries at 7 PM on his 27th birthday, which is the day the film is set on, he will inherit a great fortune. The setup is great, and it really builds up to be one of the best silent comedies of the time. The first half does have some good gags, as I said, but it's whenever we enter the final half of the film that you realise how great this movie is. So many great scenes in it, and so many funny things that happen. When James puts an ad in the paper about marrying a bride for this great fortune, you know, hundreds if not thousands of people turn up at the altar looking to be wed at the church. And I mean, the amount of extras we see is crazy. I mean, the floods of people, and it just makes it really funny because we keep panning out and seeing more and more of these people coming in to get married. And it's ridiculous to see how many people have turned up. And what makes it even funnier is when some man says that he's a trickster and that everyone's being lied to. All the brides, all those women are being lied to. All the women get really angry. They want to tear him apart, basically. And he has to run for it, which he does. And like in Cops, we see hundreds of people chasing Keaton. This time we have angry brides. The entire thing is fantastically filmed, building up that energy as it goes on. And by the end of it, you're thinking, wow. The way the entire thing is shot and edited is fantastic, and it really builds up that energy to him getting chased. The best scene by far would have to be when he's running down the slope and the boulders are chasing him, but before the boulders, you know, he's just running down this slope. And what really makes it special to watch is, you know, he is running down this slope, and I'm sure that must have been scary, and I'm sure he was going at a very fast pace. And if anyone knows from running down a hill and you're not able to stop yourself, you know what it's like. And especially on a slope, you know, we see Keaton actually falling and slipping down this slope. You know, obviously it was intentional, but at the same time you're thinking he's probably getting hurt. And it wouldn't surprise me if he broke some things during the filming of this one. Then we see him getting chased by boulders and having to dodge them, and they're made out of paper mache, so safe to say no one got hurt for that. But his athletic ability is fantastic. There's shots when he's hurling over to the side to dodge them, and he jumps over them to dodge them. And you know, his athletic ability is just incredible. And as much of a Chaplin fan I am, absolutely adore Chaplin. I think Chaplin's better, but only because of the emotion that Chaplin can bring. Keaton's physical stunts definitely surpass him, because Keaton has balls, end of it. 7 Chances has quickly become one of my favourite silent comedies, and possibly one of my favourite silent films of all time. And because of how well structured and edited it all is, all of these are on YouTube, so if you want to check them out, which I highly recommend you do, especially 7 Chances, you can go and watch them. I'll put a link below maybe. And yeah, so that's my review of 3 Keaton films this time. Stay tuned for more silent film uploads, which you'll see every day this week. My Chaplin and Keystone box set review is finally coming up. I'm going to review Frau im Mond on Masters of Cinema Blu-ray, and I'll be doing my top 25 silent films of all time, which is, I'm going to start editing that now because it's going to take me a while and I want it to be really good. So yeah, that's it this time, everyone. If you like the video, be sure to comment and subscribe. If you like silent movies, comment, subscribe. And until next time, everybody, see you then.